This is Steve Piloff from George Mason University. Sometimes if you have an annuity or annuity due, you know the rate and the number of cash flows, and you know if there's any other special cash flow or an amount that you're starting with at the reference point, and you know the future value. And what you want is the annuity or annuity due payment. So a common example is we've got an investment target at a certain point in the future. In 15 years, we want to retire with $1 million. We've got a certain amount saved up, or maybe we don't. How much do we need to save? We know how much we can earn each year. How much do we need to save each year in order to meet our goal? And we're going to focus in a second on how the financial calculator can work, but you can do it algebraically as well. So if you tell the calculator FV, then you're telling it your target. You tell it I%, that's the rate at which you can save. If you give it a PV, it's an amount at the beginning. Often it's going to be an amount already saved in the account, but it could be a special starter contribution. If you give it end mode, and I forgot to mention, if you give it N, so you give it N, so that's actually, we know when the FV is as of, the target is as of this point in time, N is also the number of fixed payments. And since it's N, you know it starts in 1 year, you solve for payment and it says this is how much we need to put away each period for N periods, such that given if we have anything to start with or extra, that these at this point in time will all compound and aggregate to our target, which is the FE that we gave it. If we're in begin mode, everything looks very similar, except again, we give it N and FE, so it's our target still as of time N. But now the N payments start right away, so it's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and I'll tell you how much you need to save starting today. Notice then that your last payment's at time N minus 1, that if you put these in and they all, accumulate or compound and then you add them up, you would meet your goal. So how much do we need to save each period in order to meet our goal? So in 7 years, we want to have 25,000. That's our goal. How much we need to save each year for 7 years. So we know we're going to be making 7 payments, equal amount each year. So now we know we're looking at an annuity or annuity due if we start in a year right away. First contributions in 1 year, and you earn 8.32% per year. So this is a classic future value of an annuity because you've got 7 payments. First one's in a year, and there's 7. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. 7 payments, and we want to have FE in 7 years, number of payments when our future value is. So we're just finding out what's C, such that C times 1.0832 to the 6 plus C times 1.0832, to the 5th, all the way up to you put that last contribution and say, here's my money, now give me everything that you have of mine, and they give you 25,000. What is the amount that you would have to put in every year for 7 years? Well, N is 7 because 7 payments and 25,000 in 7 years. First payment is in 1 year. You can earn 8.32%. There's nothing saved or nothing special at time 0. We know that because it doesn't say anything. Solve, and the amount we put in would be $2,774.49. So you'd put this in 1 year, it would compound for 6 years, be equal to a certain amount. Then the next year you'd put the same 2774.49 in, it would compound. You do that every year for 7 years. So you'd go to the bank with the last check for 2774.49, say, here you go. Now can I have all my money? And they would give you 25,000. Similar situation, you want 25,000 in 7 years. Save each year for 7 years, equal amount each year, but now your first contribution is made today. So you are saving for 7 years starting today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your last contribution would be in 6 years. You'd give it to the bank and say, oh, I don't need my money yet. I'll see you in a year. And we want to know how much you need to put in, such that C times 1.0832 to the 7th plus C times 1.0832 to the 6th and do that until you give your last plus C times 1.0832 is equal to 25,000. N is 7 because we only have 25,007, and we're going to be making 7 payments. Begin mode because they start today. Interest rate of 8.32%. How much do we need to save each period? 2561.38. So today you put in 2561.38. In a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and then not in 7 years, because in 6 years that's your 7th payment. You show back up in 7 years and you would collect 25,000.